Yo, what's up? I have to watch the video from my last game. I didn't do that for a couple of reasons in regards to some nutrition stuff and some sleep. So I want to go over that as well. We had a seminar the other night at Manly Training talking about the importance of sleep, what we need to eat before and after training, and it was really good. And I didn't feel good at all yesterday. I felt so tired and I didn't know why, and I sat down and said, why am I feeling this way? And it ended up being a couple of reasons with my eating and my sleep, so I want to go over that. But now I'm going to set up this TV here and my laptop, take some notes on the game, and so that when I send it to my mentor and I watch it with him, I have some points that I want to go over, and I say, okay, minute 220, this is what I see, what do you think? Hopefully my opinion on my game changes a little bit, because as you saw in the last video, I wasn't too happy with my performance. I spoke with my dad a little bit, who's watched the game, and he changed my opinion on it a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see how I feel about the game afterwards and move forwards with a better week. So let's get started. Just realised why this isn't going to work. If I want to write on Word, then I'm going to have to exit the video, so I'm going to go grab a notepad. I think that would be a bit easier. Like I said in this game, I was pretty nervous. I don't know what it was. Something didn't feel right. So if we have a look here, that's me up there and the ball has just been played into there. So if we watch, I win the ball and the ball has just come over from this side. Now looking at the space, that's where all the space is, up in there. Let's watch what happens. I win the ball and I lose it. What I tried to do in that situation was go back to the right hand side, but what I wrote here was that basically the ball was already on the right hand side, so because I won it, I should have known that that's where the space was, moved the ball over to the left and kept the ball, or tried to go 1v1 out on the left, but most likely keep the ball because I was in a 1v2, almost 1v4 in that situation. It's just simple, just going back into trouble. That was the first mistake. I didn't have too much time this afternoon. I had to have lunch, and I think I spent a lot of time analysing that video, so I don't have time to talk about the nutrition stuff. Definitely will do it when I get home from my training, because it's so important. It's one of the biggest things I've learnt, and nowhere near the biggest. I've learnt so much in football, but it just adds to my knowledge and what I need to do to take care of my body. So I have one coaching session from 3:30 to 4:30, and then I have 4:30 to 6 o'clock. So pretty jam-packed afternoon for me, and then straight after that I'm off to Manly Training. Make sure that I have some food in between, and then I'll take a chocolate milk for after the session. Whoops, dropped them. This is not fun. I've just checked out the oval and it is too wet for training today. For me, that means that I have to give up another one of my days somewhere along the line, which is okay, but more importantly, it means that these kids miss out on a week of training, and especially with the season coming up, that's the last thing I want to do. So look, there's a little dry spot where I am now, but if we have a rough look around the field, you can't quite see, but just over here, and then you get into this. And that as well. It is absolutely drenched, and if I let the ball go, it doesn't bounce much at all. So definitely not the ideal training conditions. I know I wouldn't want to train in that, but that's life. That's part of this this sport and this job as well for me. Sometimes you just got to cancel it because it's not the best conditions for the kids. I probably could do a session on there and it would be okay, but I wouldn't get the most for the kids, because some of the things, for example, if I did football, tennis, the ball won't bounce. They're not going to be able to have a good rally, and it just won't be good for their confidence. They're not going to improve, so it would be a wasted session. It doesn't make sense. I'll go home now, and then I want to chat to you guys about some nutrition stuff and some sleep. I'm so excited to talk about it. Cannot wait. Now for the nutrition and sleep stuff. I'll start off with the story first. So Monday night we had training, and just before training we had this little seminar, and that seminar went for about an hour, but I left home at maybe 6:10, 6:15 and didn't have anything to eat since I probably had lunch and then a snack at about 3 o'clock. So I had some food at 3 o'clock, And then from there, I didn't have anything and went to training. I have no idea why I did that. I must have been in a rush of some sort. It was just poor management by me. So I went to training, went to the seminar, and that was fine. It was really good. And then I went to training and did not feel good. I was so hungry. Maybe it was because we were talking about food, I was hungry, but during this session I had no energy, and we did fitness, which took it out of me. On that Tuesday I ended up getting home at about 9:30, and then I had to edit a video and watch videos and whatnot, and didn't end up actually getting to bed till maybe 11:30 or so, maybe 12 o'clock. Then the next morning I had a coaching session and had to wake up at 6:20, so that would have been, by the time I actually got to sleep, maybe 5.5 hours or so, which is not enough. I always go on about 8 hours. And then on that Tuesday, I was dead. I was so tired. I had no energy to do anything. And I thought, why? Why am I so tired? So now looking at this, we'll get onto this stuff. This is the sheet that we got given by the seminar place, and we'll go through it. So pre-training, I need to have a hit of carbs 30 to 60 minutes before. When we're talking a hit of carbs, we're talking things such as 1.5 Weet-Bix, a milk popper, a glass of milk, a piece of fruit, 2 to 4 crackers, 2 protein balls made with oats, anything that has a hit of carbs in it. And the reason for that is so that I have high enough energy levels during the training session and I can perform at a certain level. So I'm sure that because I didn't have energy, I was performing down here, but if I had the carbs, maybe I'd be up here. That's my big one for this week. Make sure that 30 to 60 minutes before I'm having a hit of carbs. Most likely it's going to be, what do you call it? The wheat things that I showed before, crisps, I don't know. After training, it says here ASAP, but I know the time is, I think it's maximum 30 minutes after your training session, whether it's a gym session, game, training session, whatever it is, 30 minutes maximum after you need to get some sort of food into you. Now they're saying here recovery double hit, which is a hit of carbs and protein. Now chocolate milk is perfect for that. The lady we had the talk with, she was talking about some professional clubs in another sport in Australia. As soon as they come off the training field, they just grab a chocolate milk and down that. So that's one really good option for me. Another option is some yogurt, which I might look into as well. That means that after the session, you're recovering, you're refueling your body and ready for the next session, whether it's the next morning or the next day. Those were probably the 2 biggest things for me especially. And it was so interesting that that night we had a talk was the night that I actually experienced the complete opposite. That's all I really wanted to talk about in regards to the nutrition stuff. Sleep, I always go on about it. 8 hours. It's easy for me when I don't have a session in the morning because I can stay in a bit longer, but I need to try and get to bed earlier so that I have that 8 hours. Sleep is the time where our muscles recover and we refuel our brains. And I didn't do anything productive, and that's the worst thing. I finished doing the notes for the game. Let's go check that out. Oh, Spencer. What are you doing? I got 2 pages of notes on the game, there and there. That has all the times in the game that I'm looking at with my mentor, and I found the theme was, like I showed you in that clip before, I'm taking my first touch into the players and losing the ball, which is the worst thing because when I take my first touch there, there's space on the other side that I need to recognize. I do want to get one clip up, which I did actually do the complete opposite, and it worked really well. That's me there. The ball's there. So obviously look at where all the space is. That's the space which we want to attack. Ball goes in, there's a bit of a scramble in there, and then the ball comes out again. As you can see, our winger is going to be in a 1v1 with this player, so he's going to move wider, and I'm moving away from the ball. That's exactly what my mentor says. Move away from the ball when someone's dribbling at you. I have a player dribbling at me, so I move away. So I receive the ball, I don't take a touch and let it roll across my body. So I moved away, and then I play the ball to our winger who gets in a 1v1 situation. And then I think he gets a shot off, or not quite. The theme was that my first touch was just going into the defenders. So when I win that ball, or if I get past that ball, I need to recognize which side the space is on. So tonight at training, that's one of the things I'm going to look at. Off to training now, I don't feel the greatest. The back of my throat is so sore, but what can you do? I gotta go train, I gotta focus on this. I just gotta put my mind in the training, get through that hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then come home and relax.
I'm gonna pop balls outside.
Did you burst Marley?
Huh?
Oh no, did George and Marley play?
Still not pre-app. Pre-app's still not in. Champion, how are you?
Can you please bring 3 of those mannequins out?
Yeah,
Come here.
the water ones, yeah.
I'm no contact tonight. Contact Friday. I'm playing this weekend. Aren't you no contact every night? Oh!
Still not feeling the greatest at all. Like I said, my throat was killing before the session, and after training I nearly fell asleep on the field. I was so tired, but I am feeling a bit better today. It's the night after training, so it's Thursday night right now while I'm recording this. Hopefully for tomorrow night I'll be feeling better for the session, and then I can get ready for the game on Sunday. Yeah, still not feeling the absolute best. Need to get a good sleep in and just relax. It sucks. I hate being sick because you just can't do anything. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Some stuff there inside the change room of the boys and the team, and we're just chatting and stuff. So I just wanted to show you a bit of what happens in there. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Listen.